hit the button, and I think no Avengers. I think we're live. Let's double check, and yes, we are live. And we're talking Loki spoilers, and I am here with the one, the only Geekdom 101. Danny, what's up, brother? How are you?
How you doing, man? I'm so happy to be back here. It's been a few months.
Yeah. No, I'm good, bro. It's good to have you back, and honestly, it's good to have this freaking channel back because, Warner Brothers, and you had a similar...
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you had a similar thing going on with Warner Brothers recently, so we're going to get into that in a little bit as well, but the main topic for this stream is Loki Episode 4. Pretty freaking fantastic episode. You and I were talking about it a little bit off air. Why don't we just start with sort of your raw take about not only this episode, but the whole season? You and I haven't really talked much about that, so how are you on this Loki, my friend?
Right now, it's my favorite MCU show of the Disney Plus ones. I mean, it's got like the captivating mystery that WandaVision has, but it has like the pacing that Falcon and Winter Soldier has. So, with the hour-long episodes and whatnot. So, I'm enjoying it a lot. Like some people were saying that. I've seen some people criticize some of the episodes being too character-driven, but I actually think that's good.
Right.
Getting to kind of giving this version of Loki. See, it's weird because Loki already had an arc in the main timeline, that wound up with him dying at the hands of Thanos in Infinity War. This is the 2012 Loki getting another arc, but it's a different arc. It's a different direction. And this shows the power of the multiverse. You can do different arcs, or at least similar arcs.
Yeah.
But with different circumstances, and I really enjoy that. I really like that I feel like this show sets up Phase 4 better than the previous two shows. Because if we're going to be doing a lot of multiverse stuff, we've heard about it for Thor, we've heard about it for Spider-Man, and we've heard about it for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
This show, and now possibly even Ant-Man, this show is laying the foundation for several movies going forward.
Yeah, and that's
important.
It's very important, and that's crazy because for me, before I want to say late 2019 when I was just looking at all the MCU stuff that was coming out, my gut feeling was Loki was going to not be as important. WandaVision was going to be really, really important. Falcon the Winter Soldier probably equally as important because I'm just thinking here's characters that are going to continue on. Loki is just, for me, I was like, this is a fun little bring Tom Hiddleston out of the timeline, have some fun with that show. And instead, it is real crazy, very impactful. And that's dope and kind of caught me off guard. And maybe just because my expectations were a little bit lower for it, I'm having way better of a time with it. But yeah, just in general, dude, super hyped on it. I just put a poll out in the for the audience there, and guys, I'm gonna reset the cloud bot. I know that it seems like Streamlabs is not working, so I'm gonna reset it, and hopefully that fixes the problem. We'll see. But for me, this might just be not only one of the best shows right now for Disney Plus, but this might be the best episode we've ever gotten, bro. This was crazy good, and just from the hype I saw online, people are ready. People are just very excited about the different crazy things that happen. The speculation of what's to come, where we're gonna go from here, is very, very high, which is great because Falcon the Winter Soldier was not that way. We kind of knew more or less where it was going. People called Shannon Carter as friggin' power broker episode 2, you know what I mean? So it wasn't really that involved for fans. This one has all of that pithiness. And dude, I love this Michael Waldron guy, man. The guy that's the lead writer on this, who's also writing the Doctor Strange movie, right? So this dude is a Rick and Morty dude, and this show just has a Rick and Morty vibe to it, but it's a more serious tonal version of Rick and Morty with Marvel characters that we love. And I think this show is a smash success for Marvel, and I am very, very pumped about what we're gonna get in episode 5 and 6, which we can transition into. What do you think is going to happen in these next 2 episodes, bro? Like, where's your mind just boom, go right to with the theories and whatnot?
Well, there's a lot of stuff, but I wanted to real quick talk about what you just said about the Rick and Morty writer.
Yeah.
I think it works because of the talent of Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston. I think you can write good stuff all you want, but if the actors can't nail it, it's not going to have the same pizzazz. And I really have appreciated these guys' on-screen chemistry. Tom Hiddleston's amazing. He can do anything. And honestly, dude, I was like you where I didn't think Loki would be coming back after this. I thought we were done with him after this show. And we might still be done with him. And I was okay with that.
Yeah.
But now I really want him to stick around, whether it be a good guy, whether he make cameos. I would love it if he stuck around. Even if they stick him in some other universe and we only see him once in a while, I really want him to stick around because I really like Tom Hiddleston a lot. I want to play that character forever.
Dude.
And I want him to be in Thor 4. I mean, a Thor movie without Loki is weird.
I agree.
But to your point, I think they're going to do the formula, which is episode 5 will answer the majority of the questions and then have a cliffhanger going into episode 6, the finale. That's the easiest way to structure it.
Yeah.
Why would you break what shouldn't be broken? We've been telling stories this way as humans for thousands of years. When you think about it, build something up, do the reveal or however many reveals you want, because we got the movie coming up, and then have it build up to a big climactic showdown in episode 6, and then wrap it up with maybe another cliffhanger at the end that goes with Doctor Strange. But I want episode 6 to be better than the WandaVision finale, which disappointed a lot of people.
Sure.
I didn't hate it, but I think that has the potential to be better, but they have to really give us more breadcrumbs of the future. I think Marvel fans, what they want, I hate to say it, but this is true. I think Marvel fans and movie fans like being consumers of good products. I think they want to be teased. I think we want to be, we want to theorize, we want to have discussions going into a big movie. Use these shows to build up a bigger movie. It's like storytelling, bro. The payoff has to be in a movie. And if Doctor Strange is that movie, or Thor Love and Thunder or whatever, then I think people will be more than willing to fork out their money to go see the movie if the buildup is good.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. And I think that the first 2 shows are almost like an example of the high school version of these Disney Plus shows. Like, they're still trying to figure themselves out. You know what I mean? Like, they're not quite sure. They're not fully committed to their path forward. You know what I mean? Because, we heard that Doc Strange was ripped out of WandaVision, right? And there's all kinds of theories why. Like, the first thing I heard was just scheduling. They were like, dude, it was crazy. It was the Rona, it was scheduling, couldn't get Benedict, whatever, right? So that made sense to me. Then Feige makes some whack-ass comments about, him being a white dude or whatever, and you're just like, what's up with that? I still believe today that it's likely just the fact that they were shuffling things around. They wanted to set up these things for the future, but they were currently reworking Doctor Strange with this Michael Waldron guy, and so it just probably made more sense to push a lot of the connective stuff to Loki. You know what I mean? And even Falcon the Winter Soldier. You were talking about the cliffhangers, and I think that's been a great thing that the show has done, has left us wanting more and thinking about the next episode and having something to talk about as fans for sure. And I don't know if Falcon and the Winter Soldier really did that. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't seem committed to that, right?
I think the issue, bro, is the stakes and the size of the stakes. As a fan, I mean, I like everything that is good. But I'll be honest with you, Sharon Carter being a villain, it's not doing it for me. And why would I give a damn about Sharon Carter if I've got possibly Kang the Conqueror? Why would I give a damn about her if I've got Doctor Doom, if I've got actually Mephisto or Nightmare? Like, there's so much bigger stuff coming down the pipeline that having her be a villain to me is such a minimal point at this. Now, again, I'm not saying that every villain has to be cosmic, because, Norman Osborn is rumored to be a major threat in Phase 4. And, we don't know for sure, but it's been rumored.
Yeah.
We've talked about it on your channel and my channel. And I just feel like I don't know, man. Sharon Carter's not doing it for me. Plus, it kind of, I mean, she's probably going to have an arc where she realizes, like, she'll be more like her mom and turn good. I think we've seen that too many times. I think that may have been a misstep, honestly, if I'm being real with you. I don't
Yeah,
really like her as a villain.
I
Now, I
agree.
might
I
change my
agree.
mind on that.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, right
agree,
now it's
man.
not doing it for
And there was a report, I forget what report it was because I cover so many of them nowadays, but like there was a report that had said that,
me. You
oh, you know
do.
what it was? It was the report about the villain for Cap 4 right now, and they're playing around with having it be Sin, who is the daughter of the Red Skull. So they're thinking about doing daughter of Red Skull as the main villain. And within that report was a line like, originally Sharon Carter was going to be the villain, but now they're reworking that due to a bad fan reception from the Sharon Carter villain thing from Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was like, that's wild. But
I mean,
I mean, do you think they would
they
do
could
that?
have her in it too.
They could have her
They
in it
could have her in
too.
it too.
Yeah, attaching her to Sin would actually be kind of cool. That because she's on the phone with somebody, right? So that could be cool. That could be fun.
Easy
So
connection.
let's
Easy.
go through some
Oh,
of
I
the
like the
wild.
fact that
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I like the fact that Falcon and Winter Soldier and Captain America 4 are going to be more grounded. I like Marvel's espionage
Me
stuff.
too.
Like, I
Me
really
too.
enjoyed, yeah, Cap 2 and 3 are great movies, but I think the Russos made them great.
Mm.
I think that's a key factor here. But there's just so much more coming with the multiverse
Yeah,
now
bro.
that I think a lot of the fans are going to be more hyper focused on that. And I think maybe they should save Cat 4 for after the multiverse storyline, even though there's rumors that this could go into phase 5, even. I mean, we don't
Yeah.
even. I wonder, I would like to know if Feige has like a big chalkboard on his wall
Oh
with like
yeah, I guarantee you he does. Yeah.
arrows. Or yeah, like a whiteboard with like a circle here. Because for those who don't know the reference, I'll explain the reference of what I'm talking about. In the year 2000, right? Real quick reference, Josh. I'll
Yeah.
make this quick.
Do your thing.
WWF wrestling had like their best year, and it was because the head writer was Chris Kresge, who unfortunately died of cancer in 2005. And Chris Kresge had a giant whiteboard at his wall where he had the
Nice.
list of all the wrestlers, and they had like their connections, like who's feuding with who, who's
Storylines and
related to
stuff.
who,
Yeah.
storylines. Yeah, and it all tied in real nice, and people would make fun of him over it. But the reality is the storylines and the
They
ratings were
matter.
at their absolute peak in 2000.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Feige, I don't think it's all in his head. He has to have like a file on his computer
Yeah.
or something in his office that has everything mapped out.
That's the mother load
Imagine
right
if
there.
that leaked.
Bro, for sure. That's the mother load is wanting that, So from what I've heard about the guy, it's like he does that, but from what I understand, he has other like options. So like basically
He has
like
backup
Norman.
plans.
Right. Well, he's like, yeah, exactly. He's got backup plans on backup plans. So like if he couldn't solidify the Sony deal to get Norman, he might have gone with Justin Hammer, and he was essentially doing the same thing. Or he's like, maybe I'll just pull the Mandarin. You know what
I
I
would
mean?
love to see Justin Hammer.
I think he's coming back, dude.
Bro.
I think Justin Hammer's
I
a
think
lock.
he is too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
How about that? Before
Ironheart and the War Machine show.
I know we're doing we're just getting real sweaty and nerdy, but how about that Abomination in that Shang-Chi trailer, real quick? Come on, man. Whew.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
Is that the same? Is that the Tim Roth Abomination?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, because Feige recently commented.
How do you end up in China?
Well, I think he's going to get sent there maybe by the Thunderbolts. Like whatever this tournament is for the 10 rings, they're up for grabs essentially. So that's why it's so crazy. That's why Wong's there. That's why Abomination's there. There's rumored to be vampires there, which was also teased in Loki last night, which I think is dope. But man, it's just so nice to see Marvel like getting back to it, bro, and like having that comic book fun. And they're getting a lot more of their toys back. So like I'm really looking forward to all of that. But as far as episode 4, crazy reveals. Number 1, the timekeepers. Bro, robots. Robot timekeepers. What's up with that? What were you thinking? Was this another Snoke, or is this, kind of cool? And then what do you think's going on with the timekeepers and the whole TVA? That's a big question mark.
I loved it. I loved it because it really had like a Wizard of Oz type of feel to it. That was total Wizard of Oz. Please pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. And I loved it. And did you notice the parallels of the Loki and what the hell's her name again?
Sylvie.
I was about to call her Sophie.
Sylvie.
Sylvie. somebody else, Sylvie. Did you notice the parallels to the throne room scene from Last Jedi? It was so similar. They're coming in with the handcuffs,
Yeah.
and then they both are fighting the Praetorian guards. I
Right.
noticed that similarity there. This was better though.
Yeah. I know,
There were
right?
no disappearing knives.
I
Like in that
know.
movie,
I know. That's true. Yeah.
it was good. But I loved it because I had a feeling they were villains, and I had a feeling there was something off about them when they spoke, like that mechanical talk. And then they're androids,
Yeah.
so obviously somebody's the puppeteer. Somebody planted them there. Could it be Kang the Conqueror? He makes the most sense.
Yeah.
It could be maybe a combination of a couple different villains working together. They've definitely diverged from the comics on that one, but I'm okay with that because if they diverge and it leads to a good result that makes sense for the MCU, I'm not going to be one of those nerds that bitches about it because it's not worth complaining about if it's good.
I agree. Like that's part of the fun. I always find that interesting when comic book fans get upset that things veer from the comics. It's like, do you want to have the whole thing spoiled for you before you watch it? Like, part of the fun is watching how the live action version differs, and you can predict things, but it's a new canon. Like, it's a new thing. It's the same thing as like reading an Elseworld or something where you're like, oh, this is kind of familiar. Normally this kind of thing would happen, and they do like fun little nostalgic nods to it, but ultimately you're set up for sort of new expectations.
You should tell that to the anime fandom. Do me a favor and let them know.
Bro, I'm not brave enough for anime fandoms, you know what I mean?
Bro.
Yeah, they're like
Look, just in case one missed.
They're a little bit like the Star Wars fandom, you know what I mean? Not to necessarily go there, but dude,
they are. I can see that.
Yeah. So when it comes to the timekeepers, for me, I love that they're fake, and honestly, you're right. Like, they kind of spoil it before you even get it realized because they were weird looking, bro. Like, at the first shot when Ravonna sees them, that looks a little epic because you don't see them very much. But then when you come in,
the darkness,
bro, it's so like weird Terry Gilliam, like weird movement, weird voices. The whole thing felt very, like you said, like Wizard of Ozzy. Like it had a weird vibe to it.
Time bended.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's weird, and then getting it revealed that they're fake. Super interesting. I think Kang, like you said, makes the most sense, and a lot of the different scoopers and insiders are like, dude, it's Kang for sure. I think, one of the things that you and I had sort of talked about was it's weird if it's going to be Kang because how much is that going to be revealed and how closely will this then be tied to Quantumania, Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, because we know Jonathan Majors is Kang over there. Are we going to see an Immortus, a young Kang, pulled out of the timeline to try to stop him? And are we going to just go bananas from here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Good.
It's interesting, right? Like, do you think they would... Is a little bit Kang going a long way, or will Loki fans... I feel like this is really what it is. It's like either Loki fans are going to feel cheated because Kang wasn't a big enough thing, or Ant-Man and the Wasp fans or that film will feel a little bit cheated because they're like, oh, well, we should have saved the crazy Kang stuff for this film. Do you kind of feel where I'm saying? Where it's like, man,
well,
it's an in-between kind of thing.
If Kang is in the shadows the whole time and they reveal that it is Kang, then I would be okay with it. But here's the thing. Who the hell said that we can't have the Lokis in the Ant-Man film? I mean, we've got obviously talk that Spider-Man will be in Doctor Strange.
Right.
We have talks of obviously Scarlet Witch is going to be in Doctor Strange. So why can't we do these, like you said, these fun Marvel movies where the movie is titled Ant-Man and Wasp or whatever you want to title the main characters of the movie.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've still got maybe other heroes helping out. I'm not saying that Loki has to be a major character, but maybe a side character helping, Scott Lang resolve the problem.
Yeah.
They could do that. I mean, then Loki fans would feel like that Ant-Man movie would be like the payoff to what they built up. I mean, I don't really know, but I think they're thinking in that direction more, and that's really what I like. Like, just because of the movie, like for example, Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah, that's
Avengers, 3.0 or 2.5 or whatever. I mean, so you might as well just interconnect everybody. So I don't think they should worry about that. I think Kang. The only thing I'm worried about. I don't want Kang to be a one-off villain. I want Kang to be a recurring threat because
Yeah.
of who Kang is. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly.
I agree with that. Like we want him if he's going to be set up here. I almost feel like he needs to be very Thanos level, right? Where it's like, okay, so you're playing with Kang now. That's great.
You're playing with timelines now.
Yeah, like you need to really establish the fact that like this dude is a big threat moving forward. Like he can't just be like, oh, I created the whole TVA, and then that just gets destroyed and rewritten within one Disney Plus show, and then like we sort of go into Ant-Man and the Wasp thinking he's a chump, right? So like I think we need to like have some kind of a victory, or not be just totally like the resolution. I guess what I'm saying is like in order for Loki to have a resolution, you would think he would overcome whatever this crazy TVA thing is. If that is indeed attached to Kang, then we go into Ant-Man and the Wasp with Kang having an L on his resume before we even see him as a big bad, right? So I don't know.
Remember, okay, but
Yeah.
with Thanos, do you count Avengers 1 as being an L for him because it was his army?
Yeah.
Loki lost. Did
True.
that hurt Thanos' character?
No,
I
and
mean,
that's fair.
I
That's
didn't think
fair.
so.
I think that's, it's a very comic booky thing though to have like Loki. 'Cause Loki, so it's basically Loki, Kang, and Thanos are the basic trifecta of Avengers villains and Ultron. They literally just repeatedly throughout the history of Marvel Comics keep coming
Yep.
back, keep fighting the Avengers, right? And so it totally makes sense that Loki was that villain and that he was defeated. Thanos being sort of the godfather of that whole situation, I thought was a great setup for him. You know what I mean? Because it leads mystery, and I didn't necessarily think of it as an L. So maybe they could do something similar where,
Right.
you
Or
know,
Loki,
Immortus.
where Kang vows revenge.
Right.
Kang vows revenge. or something
Yes,
like that,
and
yeah.
then it's like, oh snap! So maybe like the TVA is eliminated, but there's still a Mortis like at the end of the timeline or something, and he gets told Loki finally, beat the TVA in that one timeline you were protecting, and then we pull back to see that a Mortis is controlling like way more than just one timeline or something crazy like that. That'd be fun.
I got something for you.
Yeah, hit me.
You. You know how people, myself and others, have been talking about how if the TVA is in control of this prime timeline thing, why did they allow the Avengers to risk creating a multiverse by going back in time? And actually, they did create a multiverse because people keep saying they didn't, and they did.
Yeah.
Because the minute that Thanos left 2014 and went to 2023, you've created a branch timeline.
Right.
Because if Thanos is not in 2014, then in that timeline, there is no Infinity War.
Right.
Thanos has been removed from that timeline. So Marvel fans are always hitting me up trying to correct me. And it's like, dude, the quote Doc Brown, you're not thinking fourth dimensionally here. You are like, it's like in Back to the Future Part 2, when Marty goes to the future with Doc, at that moment, a timeline's been split because the minute that Marty leaves the main timeline, future Marty can no longer exist, and there's no guarantee that Marty will make it back to live his life. See what I'm saying? And that's when you're thinking, that's why time travel stories can't really work. Because the minute somebody leaves the timeline, you've already created a split timeline. The minute somebody goes back in time, you've made a split timeline.
Yeah.
Even if they don't even do anything or affect anything. So what I was thinking is, in order to explain why the TVA did not get involved in the Avengers Endgame thing, could it be a situation where maybe when they used the quantum realm and the Pym particles and all that to go back in time, could it be that that's what woke up Kang?
Right.
Maybe
exactly.
Kang was like asleep. And then what Kang did was he then went all the way back to the beginning of time.
Yes.
And established the TVA there. You gotta think about this.
Bro,
think about this
sure,
like in a fourth dimension.
And you know what would be dope?
He went all the way back and then established all this wacky,
which is
stuff.
semi-similar.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if they're being lied to about the TVA workers being deviants, maybe they're being lied to about the whole multiverse thing being a problem. Maybe that never happened.
I agree.
There's a lot of things that could be going on.
Well, so this is it's kind of similar to his actual upbringing, where like Kang in the comics, he reinvents Doctor Doom's time machine. Okay, so like if we go through the steps, like this would make me the happiest sweaty nerd ever. If in the next 2 episodes of Loki, it's explained that they allowed the events of Infinity War and Endgame, just like you said, so that the timeline breaks, right? And then this leads to Doctor Doom stepping up to create his time machine. That in turn leads to all these different events that then way in the future Kang rebuilds Doctor Doom's time machine, because that's in the comics. And then using that time machine, Nathaniel Richards way in the future decides to become Kang. So this would be a dope way to sort of backdoor establish Doctor Doom, and just with a name drop, which would have everybody getting really, really sweaty. And it would be a dope way to bring in just the how crazy Kang really is as an Avengers villain. Because I think you're right. Like that would be sort of the end game, I think, for Kang. And the time variant thing is like, it's not that this is happening after Endgame, it's that Limbo or the Quantum Realm place or the TVA is attached to all time. And all time from what we've seen and what the branch timelines, and they're pruning all of these different realities. But that sort of brings us to this, right? This image here of the different Lokis, right? Yeah. So what do you think's going on here? We see our Loki seemingly pruned, which was nuts. That was bananas. Even though I
thought he died,
bro. Me too. Even though I've seen like footage of him in the trailers, like in different settings, right? Like my brain after a couple minutes was like, no, he has to be back. When it happened, I was like, yo, they did it. They did it. They killed him. It's over. He's done, which was wild and a very earned, crazy moment for me, which really elevated the show.
When they killed Mobius, I was also surprised.
Bro. Well, okay, so let's get into that. So we think here now that this could be the theories that people have out there, which, by the way, my man over here looking like he came out of a Comic-Con with the bag and everything. Like he's got all of his exclusive Funko Pops in that bag. Like he's ready to go. Richard E. Grant. I love it. But
Richard E. Grant. Yes.
So these are all variant Lokis, seemingly pruned. This seems like a post-apocalyptic New York with Avengers Tower in the background. What do you think's going on here, man? Like, do you have any theories, any idea?
It's got to be some form of limbo or it's got to be some realm that's like, it's got to be another realm that exists outside of time.
Right.
And maybe all the variants get sent there to just be prisoners forever, or to get, maybe the way it works is that when you get pruned, you don't actually die. You are taken to a prison and eventually reprogrammed to be a TVA worker.
Right.
Like, and maybe that's where they're at now. And it could be a situation where that world, maybe the rebellion, like the Empire and the Rebellion, the Empire would be TVA, the Rebellion is the Lokis. That's the one thing that pops in my head. I know it's a kind of a simple explanation, but I just saw the episode like 3 hours ago, so I haven't had enough time to marinate on it. But obviously, those Lokis are all going to be involved in this big, huge finale. We're going to have a finale with like 5 Lokis fighting. That's
I know,
cool.
Right? And then hopefully Throg. Hopefully Throg.
Hopefully Throg, and that's going to lead to the Spider-Man movie with multiple Spider-Men. This is all done to tease you. They're not going to drop a trailer for Spider. That's the thing. Where's the trailer? You ain't getting a trailer for No Way Home until after this show ends. I'll put money on it,
bro. I
now I know for sure this is why.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. And this is another crazy thing that I thought of last night was it's at the moment of Loki's death that he pops up here, right? What did Alfred Molina say in that leak where he basically let it leak out that he was in Spider-Man? He said it picks up right from that moment in the lake where he dies, right? Where he sacrifices himself to stop the star crazy thing in the lake. He dies, and then boom, he wakes up here. So there was this concept of like after death, they're popping up here. I wonder if this has something to do. This would be absolutely
Doctor Strange's prison.
That's what I mean. Like this could be that limbo situation. This could be where they're all going, or maybe something that Wanda did is breaking the multiverse in a way where normally, because remember Loki says, is this hell? Because when an Asgardian dies, they show up in hell, the Asgardian afterlife. This doesn't look like hell to me. So maybe the whole multiverse is already broken and everybody that's dying is instead going to these like, because this also kind of reminds me of Sakaar, right? Like if you think about it, it looks just like a jumbled up place. Like it could be Manhattan or it could just be a place where all lost timelines get sort of thrown into the garbage disposal, and then this
I love it.
place, you know what I mean, is made up of all those different realities. Something like a battle world of broken, timelines and realities. That would be kind of sick.
I love it. I mean, it could also be like one of those realms, like in Secret Wars. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like the realm
exactly.
where all the heroes gather. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I love it. I love it. And the thing about it is, I don't think that Doctor Strange is the one who actually, I guess, created that limbo. I think it existed, but I think he's
Sure.
one of the few from the main timeline who can tap into it.
Right.
And it could be a thing that was created by Kang or by possibly even a greater threat. Everybody talked about Mephisto
Right.
in the previous
Yeah, bro.
oh, it is the Battle World. Thank you.
Yeah, Battle World.
I forgot it was called Battle World.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got confused. I got confused with Murder World, which is Arcade.
Yeah.
This is a deep cut. If you're a Marvel Comics fan, you may remember Arcade from the old X-Men comics. He had this theme park called Murder World, and that's where my brain went.
Yep.
I wish we saw that in the movie.
And
That was
Mojo
one of my
World,
favorite
bro.
comics.
I can't, dude. If they're doing
Mojo.
just on a side note, if they're doing this kind of crazy stuff for Loki, bro, give me a Mojo show with like the mutants fighting in, you know what I mean? Like, give me Long Star or Long Shot.
Ahab.
What the hell's the dude?
all
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah. Shatterstar.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
Spiral. Well,
Yeah,
Spiral's
man.
Spiral's supposed to be in isn't Spiral supposed to be in Shang-Chi?
That's the rumor. Yeah, Spiral was one of the
That was the
mutants in
rumor.
Shang-Chi. Yeah, that would be sick.
So it could be that. It could be like a world that like the Beyonder could have done this. I mean,
Right.
who knows?
Yeah.
The only thing I'm worried about is when you have a lot of plot threads, it can become easy to get lost. I just hope that Feige, and I think too many fans have faith in Feige, and I think they should because of the first 3 phases, but
Yeah.
he's also human.
Oh, for
And
sure.
when you establish a lot of different story threads with different directors and writers, you're going to end up with some plot holes. You're going to end up with some things that either are minor or major, and he's not perfect. He could botch this.
Well, that's why I
but
think.
so far, he seems to know.
Right. Well, that's ultimately why I think he removed a lot of the stuff from the first 2 shows, is kind of exactly what you're talking about, where it's like I just felt like he didn't want to commit to it because it would create plot holes, because he's essentially remaking some of his plans. So he was like, nah, man, pull back on that. Pull back. Because Helena was supposed to be in Falcon Winter Soldier, rumors of old man Steve Rogers. But now if he's really solidified his plans, then he can really move forward on some of this stuff. My thing, and I think we're both sort of at this place where like the show's so good that it's like giving me that hope and that feeling again that like, dude, imagine because look, I absolutely love the MCU, but the reality is the MCU really only ascended to like Super Saiyan in like the last 4 to 5 years before Infinity War. Like before that, it was great. Oh, dude, yeah. You would have some great movies, you'd have some good stuff, and then you'd be like, dude, this is dope. But when it started to just take off like a rocket was the ending leading up into Infinity War and Endgame. That was bananas. Those movies were just crushing it. The connective tissue was super sound. The post-credit scenes were dope. It all felt really, really great. And I think there was a lot of worry that after Endgame, it would be impossible to recreate that magic. And
I think it will be. I think we're going to have magic, but it's not going to be on the same level.
Okay.
I really know.
Well, you know what? That's why I think Secret Wars is the next obvious move, because Secret Wars could get us there, bro. Secret Wars to me would be more hyped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair
like
enough.
if you had, because like if you have we're looking at 3 different versions of Loki right now. Amazing. You throw me into a battle world concept where you with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and we're getting multiversal versions. Like, dude, imagine the Nightcrawler from the Apocalypse world, the pirate Nightcrawler that's like an absolute savage. Like, I want to see that dude like flipping around.
The Dark Beast.
Dude, Dark Beast. Like, come on, man. Like, there could be so much fun craziness. Loki's like the appetizer. That's what's so wild to me. It's like Loki in some ways is just a little.
Good.
I know, right?
That's what it should be.
It's
That's
pretty
what keep
hyped.
us watching.
Pretty hyped.
After watching this episode, I told myself, yeah, they know what they're doing. Now, that doesn't mean they can't make mistakes in the future, but at least I was so happy, man, because I did think that Phase 4 would nosedive, but I'm happy that it's still kind of coasting. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Down.
in some ways, the year off, even though it created this weird fan expectation thing, where I think actually Black Widow might be met with a little bit of a meh, just from what I'm seeing with the critics, and just I think some
It
fans are
was supposed to come out before WandaVision, bro.
for sure, exactly.
And so we
Yeah,
talked about it a minute ago. You're building up all this multiverse stuff and Wanda's hexes and all that. Then you have this really small story about Black Widow.
right.
It seems like mistiming, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually got invited to go see the movie at Andy's house on Monday, and I couldn't make it, and I regret not going because I wanted to go see it. I should have gone, bro, but I couldn't. I didn't feel well. But I'll see it next week and give my thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, but I got to remember, it was meant to come out before WandaVision, but also it should be reviewed as its own story.
Yeah.
But I think for some people, yeah, it's going to be a bit underwhelming because all the stuff they have.
Right. And the other series, similar situation, right? Where it's like, okay, it's just a little, you know, but I think we're on the other end of that now, and I think we're going to be good. So, ladies and gentle beings.
Real quick in the chat, Bruce says Phase 4 has not begun yet. No, that's incorrect. WandaVision is the beginning of Phase 4, bro.
Absolutely.
That already began.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is Phase 4 now.
This is definitely Phase 4.
Yeah.
And I know there's some people that say like we're going away from phases or whatever. I actually don't think so. I think Quantumania might still be Phase 4, and I think Phase 4 might have some more announcements and things to be made even this year at like Comic-Con and stuff like that. But I think we're sticking to phases, man.
Right.
All right, I'm just gonna fly through. We got a bunch of super chats. Are you cool to hang for like 20 minutes, half hour, and just go through some of these? I can let you go too.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of them coming through, and I was wondering what you were gonna do with those.
Yeah, we're gonna go through them all right now. So let me get this pulled up here, ladies and gentle beings. All right, so first in today, Wonder Bread with a $5 holler says, great episode. Got too much work today, so got to watch this on replay, but wanted to say congratulations to all the diamond badges. It's been a great 6 months. Amen, dude. Nerd Vengers. We have members today, or actually a couple of days ago, over a year, bro. So anybody you see in the chat with like a purple amethyst badge, they have been a Nerd Venger for over a year, so dang, appreciate the support for sure, guys. Thank you. Whoa.
Fantastic.
What just happened? Okay, let me see here. All right, and then, that wasn't the first one, my bad. Sean Gaines was, we back. Yes, man, we are. Oh, wait, no, that's for the watch party. I'm losing my mind here, bro. I made the thumbnails too similar, Danny. I screwed it up. Okay, Mike Haas says, a $5 holler. Great episode. Loki story-wise is really giving us great stuff, but the fight choreography is really, really bad. That hurt this episode. 8 out of 10. What are your thoughts on that, bro?
I don't think it was as bad as Last Jedi Throne scene. I thought it was fine. It was maybe a bit too short, but it was fine. It wasn't the best, but I wasn't expecting it to be.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's funny because I actually did notice that. I was like, man, this action is not very good. It seemed almost like kung fu movie background action. But what's interesting is that scene is not about the action per se. It's about the stakes. Like the stakes in that scene are very real, and the action is not amazing, but like it's coasting off of just really good character development and just like a really good pacing. And so in that scene, I found myself completely captivated. So I feel where Mike is coming from, but like, you don't need like that would be such a weird thing to look at that scene as an editor, as a director or producer or something, and be like, but the action's just not good enough. I'd be like, nah, man, great scene. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it doesn't matter because this is a story, a character-driven. This show's called Loki. It's a character-driven show.
Yeah,
WandaVision was character-driven. Even Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm perfectly fine with that because if you're doing TV, it should be character-driven. You have more time.
Yep, I agree for sure. Pretty Nikki is a Nerd Venger now. You are a Nerd Venger now. Thank you so much, and thanks for all the support. And I'm pumped that people are checking out the live channel after the week of being banned. And then maybe we'll get into that in a little bit too, just talking about your situation with Matrix 4, because you had a situation there. You know what I mean?
Warner Brothers, bro, struck again.
Bro, I just don't get it, man. They just stay losing too. Like that's the thing. Like.
I mean, I get it. I was actually revealing the guy who told me the spoilers for Matrix.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who had those. I'm the only one. And technically doing that video is like revealing trade secrets, inside trade secrets. That's how they're going to view it. But the problem is I reached out to them to try to resolve it to see if we can come to an agreement. Maybe I'll post half the spoilers or whatever, and I didn't hear back. So if you're gonna treat me like that, like I'm a nobody, these companies do it all the time, then fuck you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna be re-uploading my Matrix 4 spoilers tonight on World of Geekdom. If you want the full plot to Matrix 4, tonight on World of Geekdom, I will be re-uploading the video with the full legitimate plot of Matrix 4 after it was shown 2 weeks ago in private screenings. And it's mixed, but you'll see that.
No, I want to check that out because I didn't get a chance to watch that video before it got taken down. I read the articles
like
and
6 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? I actually was like, I wanted to check that out. We almost reacted to it on our stream. I wonder if Warner would have freaked out and tried to attack us. You know what I mean? They're crazy.
I mean, it didn't. I'm not big enough for it to have spread. See, it's BS. There's people on this platform who are constantly lying to people and constantly making up news and constantly grifting. When I have legitimate leaks for Snake Eyes, the whole plot is on my channel, nowhere else. Legitimate leak. I had a leak for Kong versus Godzilla that was about 85% right. And now I got this one for a movie that's come out for 6 more months. And it just doesn't get the. Now I'm not salty about it. That's YouTube. I'm not salty about it. But if I were a bigger channel, like if World of Geekdom had the same kind of subs as Geekdom 101 does, my main channel, it would have been hell for Warner Bros. Because everybody would have covered it.
True. Some people did cover that story, and I wonder if after you posting it again, if anything happens, that'll probably make more coverage as well. But yeah, it's an interesting game out there. People, unfortunately, are in some ways just as hungry for things that are very unlikely, but just get them hyped, right? You know what I mean? So they're just looking for that hype fix. It's just a weird world that we live in. You know what I mean? So
it is. But the thing that irritates me about Warner Bros. Is, like you said, taking so many L's. They didn't continue the Snyderverse, which I'm upset about. The way they treated that guy, they cut their stock dividend. I sold all my AT&T stock. The sale, and then copyright claiming not just me and you, but others. They're just
and on Twitter too, bro. They copyright fucking Zack Snyder for doing the funny joke with Catwoman and Batman.
What did they do?
They copyright claim. They DCMA'd that shit, and he had to take it down. It was removed on Vero. It was removed on Insta. It was removed on YouTube. Bro, they copyright struck Zack Snyder for posting
a guy
DC stuff.
A guy who worked with them, a guy who produced content for them.
It's beyond petty, bro.
They're a disgusting company, bro.
Man,
and don't even forget, their passive aggressive, what do you call it? They're doing the Lucasfilm thing where now it's all of a sudden the fans are all, evil this and all that. We're not going to address these fans and the Snyder cult and all that. It's
well, that's because they're getting destroyed. You know what I mean? They're getting
decimated.
It's
their own fault.
It's totally their own fault. It's absolutely their own fault. 100%, man. I agree with you.
Yeah, I didn't interrupt your super chat.
Oh, no, you're good.
I'm not happy with that company right now.
Yeah, no, me neither, bro. We were gone for a whole week, bro. You know what I mean? I can't believe it. They literally were like, you're done. What? Axid says here's a haiku. It's good to be back. Now give me all my nerd coin. F you, Warner Brothers. That's a beautiful haiku, man. We might put that on a shirt, Axid. That was pretty good. Slow-mo 1203 with a $5 holla says, in my opinion, Loki is better than previous shows is due to comic storylines. The show wasn't based on one, which leads to more speculation. I think that's fair. He's sort of implying that because the other shows were so closely associated to particularly WandaVision to House of M, right? That it kept us in sort of a singular lane, but this one not necessarily being based on any, it opens up the speculation.
It's got ideas, though. It's got ideas and characters. They have always done that, though. I mean, Civil War was only Civil War in name. It wasn't the Civil War storyline.
True. And there's some Agents of Asgard in here. There's, depending on what we get in the next 2, though, there could be a lot of Kang stuff being referenced, so... Yeah, it's a good thought, though, for sure. Carl here says, with a very generous $50 holla. And by the way, we are going to do a stream tonight, guys, at 7:30 as well, just to kind of get really hyped about the comeback. And I upped the level of nerd coin for all the rewards today. So normally you get 100 nerd coin per dollar you spend in Super Chat. It's 200 today. I think if you subscribe to the channel, you get 2,000 nerd coin. If you become a member, you get 4,000, and that should be working. Let me know if it's not working because I'll freak out. But Carl says, I'm so glad that we are back, Nerd Vengers. Thank you for all you do, Josh, keeping me and everyone else sane. I love this community so much. Give me more multiverse speculation and build up. It makes those payoffs so sweet. Let's go. Yeah, man. I am into it. I'll say this too. You guys have heard me sort of talking about this, and I haven't really got a chance to tell you about this, bro, but that What If show, I am really starting to feel like What If has major implications for what Marvel is doing moving forward. And I also heard that they are particularly butthurt. Marvel is particularly butthurt about all the stories about What If that are coming out. What do you make of that?
What stories are coming out about What If?
So there's the fact that,
that.
Well, the last one that broke was about Doctor Strange and the evil Doctor Strange, who he's not necessarily evil, but he gets his powers by trying to save the life of the one that he loves, and then that doesn't work, so he becomes dark. And there was a trailer shown behind the scenes that showed that Doctor Strange seemingly fighting the Doctor Strange from the 616 universe, the one that we have. Also, there's the fact that it just seems like it's very possible that some of these characters are going to get pulled out and put into live action. You know what I mean? It's kind of the read that I have on the situation where I'm like, whoa.
See, that would be interesting because that was not the original idea that we had heard at all.
Right,
it was supposed to be a side thing, all Elseworld stuff.
Yep.
But if it's going to be multiverse stuff, I mean, hell, what if the Loki show birthed?
Yeah.
What if?
That's the whole thing, right? Like, that's
what
totally
if
possible.
Loki show is the what if.
What
know,
if?
Man.
That's a wild. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's so bananas. But like, bro, I'm just saying, like, from some of the stuff I've heard, and there's some real crazy rumblings. It seems like What If could be a very important show. I wouldn't even be surprised, bro, and this would be bananas. But if the Eric Killmonger Black Panther from What If becomes the new Black Panther in the 616. That, like, it's literally that animated character who we'll get to know a little bit in that show, then we find popping up in Black Panther or something to that effect, and he becomes like Black Panther for us. That would be nuts.
I'm still like unsure of where that Black Panther thing's gonna go. Like, I'm still kind of like that chat with Bozeman passing. It's tricky.
It throws everything off, but I think that Coogler was developing it at a time where he was able to be like, okay, here's how we're gonna handle it. And like, I've heard some positive stuff about how they're gonna handle it, but regardless, like, they're going ham. Like, this is supposed to be an international. The movie's more about Wakanda maybe than T'Challa, but I think T'Challa is probably gonna pass early in the film, and then it'll all be about not only what does Wakanda do with the new state of the world, but who should be the one to lead Wakanda forward. You know what I mean? It's kind of because they'll need a king and a Black Panther, maybe the same person, but maybe not, right?
It should be the same person.
They should be, but they're not always. I mean, his father was king while he was Black Panther, right? So
but his father used to be Black Panther.
True. There was a time where he just passed that on, I guess. Max Ross says here, this is for Danny. The Dr. Slump PS1 game got an English patch. Have you played it? It's a gem.
I've heard.
Is that pretty dope?
I have not played it yet, but I have heard. I have not played it yet, but I've heard. Yeah, I have somebody who I talked to who's very into super hardcore Slump fan, and yeah, I've heard. Slump was, for those who don't know, Slump was Toriyama's big manga before Dragon Ball.
Oh,
it's what he produced before Dragon Ball.
Oh, that's sick, dude. That's Toei right now telling you to stop it, or Warner Brothers maybe. Nikki says with a very generous $20 holla says, shout out to me, because I said on the stage that the timekeepers were fake and that it's going to be a Wizard of Oz moment. That's true, you did. They are just puppets. I got this 1W. Nerd Vengeance full effect. On point, Nikki. And then she also follows up by saying, the Croc Loki is now dubbed the Florida variant. I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm from Florida.
Yeah, so a lot of Crocs down there.
With that. Only in some parts of Florida. Don't believe the hype. The Crocs rarely come into the city. If you live in the South, the Everglades, you might have to deal with it. If you live in the backwoods, but if you live in the city, you're not going to see an alligator. Very rarely. Very rarely.
Dang. If you see one, you're going to go try to put a Loki helmet on it just for the gram or something?
I'm not. Did you see that footage that came out like about 2 or 3 months ago about that giant gator in Miami?
No, I don't think I did. Was it
Oh,
just
I'm gonna
chilling?
send it to you at
Yeah,
some
send it
point.
to me.
He was there. It was like a subdivision of homes, and he was like walking, and it was huge. It was like a freaking Jurassic Park thing. He
Damn,
was
bro.
massive, and it was like I saw it. I was like, whoa.
So, are you
Like,
allowed to
yeah,
just come out and like blast that thing? Like, if that thing's like walking around the neighborhood, like, do they just come out and they're like, "Pff," or what? Like, how does that
you're
work?
supposed to call you're supposed to call
Like a preservation
yeah,
bulletin?
like I forget what the name of the company is, but there's like a wildlife preservation thing that takes care of that. But dude, if it's coming after your family, you gotta do
You
whatever you
gotta do
gotta
what you gotta
do. You
do,
know?
right? Yeah, for sure. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. Let's see here. Lord Vito says, so was it Ravana all along, like Agatha was to Wanda, or will this just be another Ravana boner? Yeah, I think Ravana is involved, but not the end boss. What do you think, Danny?
I agree. She's working for whoever,
Yeah.
Kang, whoever,
Yep.
whoever.
Yep. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Alma Powell with a $5 holla says, I think either Ravana or a Loki variant will be the big bad, but the big bad pulling the strings will be one of the Kangs. Okay, so he's saying like there'll be layers to it. So there'll be another Loki that's being used, and then maybe Kang on top of that. I could see that. That would be kind of fun for
I can
sure.
see that. I can see it.
Eric Jenkins says Kang rebuilds Tony's time machine. Doom has not been established, and there would be little to no reason to establish him with normies this way. I don't know, bro. They've done different things like this in the past. There's little like Easter egg stuff, and then it just gets people talking. I think the mere mention of Doom would bring a lot of hype. But I do feel the other side of that, where he's like, "Nah, man, you need to really establish Doom." What do you think? Would that be too much? They put a little Doom in.
I mean, it's just a teaser.
Yeah,
I don't see that being a problem.
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, they say that Doom would not be getting an origin story in the MCU. I guess I'm okay with that, right? They're not going to show it,
Yeah,
right?
I've heard back and forth on that. The last substantial thing I heard was, yeah, I don't know, man. It's been a long time with Doom rumors. I think they
And then he's a
probably
villain in
Black
isn't he
Panther.
supposed to be a villain in
Yeah,
Black Panther?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be. He's probably a behind the scenes villain in Black Panther, like just machinations, like Doom War kind of stuff from the comics. So I'm good with that. That would be fun.
I'm
Mike
fine with it.
Porter says, loving my new badge and loving the MCU F Warner Brothers. Indeed, Mike. Michael Phantom, very generous $20, says the Avengers had to go back in time because that is how Kang learns how to time travel. Kang, dang, it. You kind of said it as I type it. Also, people always dismiss the timeline where Thanos, his daughters, and company disappeared in 2014. That's fair. That's fair. A lot of weird stuff here. I ultimately hope that they pull a lot of these threads back together. But I was one of the people, man, that like after Endgame, I was like, there ain't no way they got out of that clean. Like, there's just literally no way.
I said it too because even like Captain America going back in time, just him being in the past based on the butterfly effect and living with Agent Carter, just that changes things.
Yeah.
Just that. So it can't exist in the same timeline. But like I said, pulling Thanos and Gamora and Nebula out of that 2014 means that Infinity War never happened in that timeline, and thus we
Right.
have another timeline. You
Yep.
can't escape that, bro. People need to stop trying to correct me without thinking, which
Yeah.
happens all the time in the anime fandom. But I mean, think.
Think.
Feige's not perfect, bro. This
Yeah.
is time travel.
Yeah.
Feige might be a great producer, but you can't beat time travel.
No, they eventually have to shut that down. And actually, it's funny because this is actually what Age of Ultron is really about, is that they've gone through time so much that they're like breaking reality, and they essentially can't time travel to undo the Age of Ultron event. So like there's like a weird thing where they're like, dang, we time traveled so much, it's shut off. And then like they do one last time travel, and it's like this Wolverine that shows how to kill himself. Anyway, fun stuff like that can absolutely be established in the comics. But I agree, we're in this place right now where it's like it's so bananas, and they need to condense it down and make it simple again. So like either Kang or new timelines or a multiversal war. I think a big Secret Wars battle
and
world
also,
thing.
I almost forgot to mention the Loki show. The fact that Loki takes the Tesseract and vanishes.
Yeah.
The fact that there's no Tesseract in 2012, that's another divergent timeline.
True.
Because that means that you can't even get all the Infinity Stones in 2012
Yeah.
because one of them's gone. So
Yep.
you see what I'm saying? Like unless the TVA went in and deleted that entire timeline,
Right.
which is possible.
It's possible, but again, what's happening when they're doing that? are all the deleted timelines just converging to where all the Lokis are at now, and like creating like a, you know
Wow.
what I mean? Like, who knows?
You think they're gonna have cameos from Chris Evans and
Bro,
Robert Downey and
do it
Loki? I
all.
don't know about that.
But then again, you don't need to, right? Variant versions of them, huh? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're talking about the ones from 2012. But yeah,
True.
you're
Yeah,
right.
that would be there. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be fun. They did do Sif, which was kind of fun, you know. Let's see here.
Right.
Stormy says, "What if Maestro Hulk is in this limbo world? If Kang isn't behind all of this, I'd be shocked. Last night, MC returned to its full potential for sure, bro. Dude, Maestro would be dope to see alternate versions of Hulk for sure." Alma Powell says, "Do you think that this may be a Mistress Death scenario? When she died in the comics, there was no afterlife, and in the show captions, he said, 'Is this hell? Hell is hell in Norse mythology. No Hella equal no hell.' I like that, but it could even be Soul Stone related.
I thought it was just,
You know what I
but
mean?
also, but you gotta remember, he's not thinking fourth dimensionally. Hela died
In one
in
timeline, yeah.
Ragnarok. Different timeline, brother.
Yeah.
This Loki has no idea that of the events of Ragnarok.
True.
Because this is from 2012. He should not know anything, which is why that line about the Avengers going back in time and him smelling Tony Stark's cologne twice. I hate that line because, and that's one thing I did not like about episode 1. Loki from 2012 should have no idea about any of the events from after 2012.
Yeah.
He shouldn't. And
Yeah.
the fact that he was able to figure out there was time travel, that's stupid to me because he shouldn't even know what that is. So didn't like that, but
Yeah.
the point is that Ragnarok movie only takes place in that timeline, not in the one that this Loki knows.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah. It's interesting. So yeah, it probably can't be Hela, and seemingly can't be the Soul Stones either. But it could. I do like the idea though that like maybe the afterlife is shut off, or like something is broken in the multiverse where, because again, it could tie into Spider-Man, right? Where all those villains are dying, but instead of dying, they're being shoved into a timeline or something. So like it could be a thread of what he's talking about, but yeah, it can't.
and it could be something that was created by a villain way back, or even a good guy. You never know.
True. Yeah, for sure. Tyler Wakefield says at least Black Widow's day could be a big Marvel day with Black Widow, a new episode of Loki, and possible Spider-Man trailer. Can't wait for next week. That's true. It's going to be a dope hype week.
Loki's a couple days before, though, isn't it?
Yes. So Loki will be a couple of days before, and then depending on when you go out to see it or whatever, it'll likely be it'll be Tuesday night for Loki, and then maybe Thursday night for / Friday morning for
Friday morning.
Yeah.
But no, because I have tickets to go see it at 6 p.m. Thursday, and there's some places that are doing it at 5, so we're gonna have the movie out like in some places at 5 o'clock. Also internationally, they might have the movie at like noon.
True. So maybe Disney Plus releases
on Thursday
it a little early or something. I don't know. That would be interesting.
Yeah, this is unprecedented.
Yeah,
this is not Mulan or Raya the Last Dragon. This is a big deal.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's gonna be really interesting to see how it performs and how fans respond to it. But yeah, it's gonna be a big week, bro. It's gonna be a really big week.
I don't think we're getting Spider-Man trailer though. I'm telling you, we're not gonna get that till after episode 6 of Loki.
I think you could be right. I wonder,
unless they actually explain everything in this one.
Right. If they explain the thing in episode 5, maybe that could work. And you know what's funny? Oh man, wouldn't it be so bizarre if they moved Loki to Wednesdays with the whole thing just to be able to play that trailer or something? Like here we are thinking, because we're thinking that they did this so that there's weekday buzz and then buzz for the films on the weekend. But what if the original decision was literally like, okay, well, in order to line up with the Black Widow trailer to do the Spider-Man 3 trailer, we need Loki to come out that week, but we can't have it come out that day. We have to have it earlier.
What? What if they have the Spider-Man trailer as the post-credit scene in the episode?
Ooh, bro, I would be a happy nerd for sure if that happened. I would love that.
Why
bro.
not? Hey, listen, those Easter eggs. Look, I'm gonna go back to 1990 when I was a little kid. If you bought the Burger King Kids Club Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles VHS tapes, after the credits, there was a trailer for the movie, which I didn't even know was coming out because the internet didn't exist back then.
What?
And I'll never forget having a damn near heart attack at 6 years old that there was going to be a live action Turtles movie because of the VHS Burger King tape. So why don't they do stuff like that?
Dude, they should do stuff like that. Yeah, no, they absolutely should do stuff like that. Like that would be really, really fun. I'm all about it. Black Widow in Battle World, post-credit scene or bust. Whoa. Okay, so Carl, that's actually pretty cool. If the death is broken
That's
throughout
a
the
good point.
multiverse, bro, what if we see Natasha even after the Soul Stone thing being where these variants are or something? That would be bananas, dude. I'd be into it.
Right. No, there's all we could see all kinds of characters there. We could see, I mean, Ultron was a machine, so we won't see him there, but
Right,
all
right.
kinds of characters who have died in the past, we could see there. I mean, the thing is, though, bringing people back from the dead is kind of a cheap thing, and that's
It
coming
is.
from a Dragon Ball fan.
Well,
That's all they do in Dragon Ball.
well, you know what's
But
funny?
if they put it in this alternate world, it could, if it ties into something bigger, I could see it working.
Well,
You know?
okay, so there's funny, real quick diversion on that is that so right now in the Jonathan Hickman X-Men comics, they're doing this thing where nobody can die when you're an X-Man because they have like on Krakoa, they have a way to bring people back. But what they've done instead is flipped it so they're using people's deaths as like story devices instead of like this cliche thing that happens and you see coming and then people just come back, right? So like as an example, like recently Legion was like losing his mind, gonna break everything, screw everything up, and they were like literally like, okay, well he's got this sort of mind virus. We just have to kill him, reset him, and try to just bring him back. But then like this weird thing happens when they reset him, where like this weird vibe goes over Krakoa. So like if they're gonna just shut off death, I say use it as a story element and not just make it an easy sort of recycle
A
machine.
cheap thing.
Right.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Meister here says,
Agree.
been watching since your first stream with Star Wars Theory. Excited to finally be a nerd Venger. Catch me in a year with my Amethyst badge. Yo, thank you so much. Appreciate the support. It was dope to see you on the watch party last night. I remember, so thank you. Brad Sykes, I'm just going to fly through these because there's so many. Brad Sykes says, isn't possible the TVA pruned the 2014 timeline that Thanos left? It is possible. But again, what did that do to it? We don't even know fully what the pruning is. But it's possible.
You're right.
Sheev says Throg and Alligator Loki for the win. Hi, Geekdom and Josh. What's up, Sheev? What's up, bro? Yeah, Throg riding Alligator Loki into battle would be the greatest thing ever. I will go on record and say I would forgive the boner from WandaVision if we get that. That would be juicy, man. And give me some toys for that, too. Chase Floyd, very generous $25 holler, says, so glad to be back to banging the homies in these streets. Unless your name starts with WB, then piss off. LOL, F Warner Brothers. PS Geekdom, I've loved your channel for years. Thank you for your passion for DBZ, Mang. Hey, there you go, brother. Getting that love.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate it, bro. I ain't going nowhere. Trust me. We have a movie coming on next year.
And hopefully a series, right? Hopefully, right? I mean,
I have a video coming out about that.
Okay,
I have a video
cool.
coming out about that in a few weeks, but hopefully.
So let me ask you this real quick divergent again, because I just have to. I haven't been following the granola stuff. Like, should I be getting in on that? Like, is it dope or nah?
I said this tonight to a few friends of mine. It's mind blowing that Marvel's doing all these amazing things with all these characters, and Dragon Ball continues to do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's literally just, it's not breaking any new ground. And they have the potential to break new ground because they've done time travel, they've done alternate universes, and they're just stuck with, oh, this guy wants to be the strongest and we're going to have a fight. And it's just the same.
Yeah,
it's getting to the point, and I'm going to do a video about this at some point, like an analytical video. It's just the same thing over and over again, the same formula. And it's getting really tired. It was tired in my eyes. Now it's getting, so long story short, try it, but don't expect it to be anywhere near what they're doing in the MCU. It's not.
That's a bummer.
It's not.
That's a bummer. I wanted to have this fully assembled, but this is one of those dope Frieza statue things.
That looks awesome.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that image.
Dude, yeah, I'm pumped.
That's from DBZ episode 193, I think.
It's pretty sick, bro.
Yeah, 193.
I got this. I got a Jiren one where he's like Jack doing an uppercut, and then I got Goku and Vegeta from the Broly movie where they're doing the side by side Kamehameha. It's pretty cool. Can't wait for
Shadow
Phase
King,
3000.
Shadow King.
Yeah,
I want to say Shadow King. You're very condescending, bro. Like, I've seen you post comments on my stuff, and you're like acting I don't like the way you behave, bro. So you're gonna get banned from my channel, and if you're gonna bring that over here, you're gonna get banned from this, bro.
Yeah,
Stop
for
being so
sure.
condescending,
I
dude.
didn't.
Just chill.
Mods, just take a
I'm
peek
sorry
at
that
that.
I brought my cancerous fandom over here, bro. I apologize
It's
for
because
that.
you started talking shit on the anime fans. They all came out. They were like, Danny.
Well, I'm sorry, but the manga sucks.
Yeah.
If it's good, I'll tell you it's good, but it's trash now.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, dude. Sometimes I run into that with Star Wars fans. Anyways, I can't wait for Phase 3000. Nerd Vengers for life. Let's go, man. Machine Gun Carter says
We'll be
Loki
dead by
being.
then.
I know, right? Or we'll be hooked up to robots in our own version of the TVA. Loki being bi, director's main agenda. MCU whack, bro. That's such a tired comment.
That's a Star Wars fan thing to say. That's a Star Wars fan thing to say. Right
I mean, look, I like Machine Gun Carter, but like, bro, come on, miss me with that. Gene Joseph
I don't
says,
even care if he's bi. It doesn't even matter.
Dude, yeah, it's honestly, like, first of all, it definitely wasn't the first one. Grandmaster, definitely bi in Thor Ragnarok, obviously. And also, like, no, bi is definitely not the director's main agenda. It's something they did. Whatever.
It's a throwaway
line. I mean, yeah, it's a throwaway line, and it's also very Loki. Like, come on, man. Plus, it's not even the weirdest thing in the show. The weirdest thing is that he fell in love with a variant version of himself, which opens up all sorts of crazy, kinky possibilities. Gene Joseph with the $2 holla.
If I saw myself as a girl, I don't think I would do myself as a girl, man.
I don't know. It's a weird, yeah. You know what else? Let's not see. Now they got me talking about that shit. All right, anyway. Gene Joseph says, will Marvel adopt Heroes Reborn into the MCU? That would be sick. Are you reading Heroes Reborn at all? Dude, it's a good story.
I know all about it, but you're going to have to do Onslaught first, which is one of the craziest Marvel events of my childhood.
Yeah.
Might not be the best written one, but it was just complete pandemonium.
Yeah,
and I wish they would do that. You're going to need Xavier and Magneto for that, but oh my God, I would. Yeah. That would be the only thing I can think of that would be bigger than Endgame is if they did Onslaught.
Yeah, honestly Onslaught would be huge. I think Avengers vs. X-Men would also be huge. They've got a couple in the tank they could do that would be bananas.
Secret Wars.
You know, yeah, Secret Wars for sure. Let's see here. Glad Live Channel is back. Nerd Vengers are unstoppable. Thank you, Star Wars MCU OG. Hi, Jackman Tech. Venger $10 holla says, Chris-azy episode. Welcome back to the tower. Boner 420. Amen. Quentin Lee says, the homies back in here, playa. Let's go. Renee says, banging the Nerd Vengers homies. Thanks. When will Hyperion be in the MCU? I don't know, but I'd love to see Hyperion in the MCU. He's a dope character, man. I want to see Henry Cavill play him, honestly. Glad the live stream channel is back. Good the other channel was there as a backup. Nice to see Geekdom here. F Warner Brothers and take my money. Thank you so much. We back. So beautiful.
And now I'm thinking about Henry. I'm thinking about Henry Cavill as Hyperion, bro. That's wacky. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'd love it though, man. Oh, it'd be such a shot across the bow to Warner Brothers too.
It would completely be. It's too much.
Oh, it would be sick though. And then do Nighthawk as Ben Affleck, dude. Just go for it. Take the whole Justice League, dude. Take the whole Justice League fight.
I mean, yeah, Moon Knight's already been cast, so you might as well.
True. Frostro Dramas says the $10 holla. Did y'all see the Simpsons Loki crossover coming out on the 7th? I saw some art for it. It looks funny as heck, dude. I'm all about it.
I don't care about the Simpsons anymore, and I haven't in 20 years. So
damn,
that's one of my favorite shows of all time. But after season 10, it
got garbagey.
Horrible. Horrible.
Interesting.
Horrible. Yeah, I can't bring myself to care.
Dang, I don't really watch it, so I don't really have that same feeling. But I probably will check out the Loki thing. But now that Danny said that,
I don't either.
It's fuck the Simpsons all day. Concat Boo says, do you think that this will have any impact with the mutants, aka X-Men? No, I don't. I don't think it'll have any impact.
Not yet.
No. Farcuskala Lopez says, so cool to be back here, Josh. That said, I'm out of here. You guys haven't seen Loki. Okay, right on. Thank you for the love. Guys, I'm going to fire through a few more super chats, but we're going to call it, so don't send any more in. Apologies. I'll read any that I miss maybe later tonight on the 7:30 stream. Let's see here. Chuck Davis with a $1 holla says, nothing. Tyler Wakefield says, think, Mark, think. Indeed. Black Widow comes Wednesday in the UK, so who knows? Ooh, yeah, it's going to be juicy.
Yeah, you know what? It might leak early, bro. It might leak early. We might be able to see that movie early, bro.
Yeah, you never know. Big Stevie with a $15 holla says, welcome back. Now give me my nerd coin. Indeed, sir. You may have it. Moonstars with a $3 holla and no message. Interesting. Nola Nerd says with a very interesting $5.04. I don't know. Is there something to that? Would have been epic if Timekeepers as Loki and Sylvie, as they stood there, put one in the air and said, "Be excellent to each other." Like Bill and Ted. That'd be kind of funny.
Wonder Twin power activate, bro. Bring that back.
Why not? No one knows me like me. Bring on the variant me. Hashtag banging the homies, says Jay Lemon. Right on.
Banging yourself.
Yeah, exactly, right? Is that masturbation? I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, Danny. Anything else you want to say? Again, you're dropping the Matrix 4 video on World of Geekdom tonight, right?
Tonight, the full Matrix 4 plot synopsis for a movie that doesn't come out for 6 more months. Now, understand they could always make edits and reshoots and make. I don't think they're going to, but because Keanu Reeves' schedule is booked, but they could always edit things and put a different cutout. But I don't think so. I think it's going to be the way it is now, and that is coming out tonight on World of Geekdom.
My man.
So no matter what, Warner Brothers. Look, I've already done a counterclaim for the copyright. But YouTube takes like 15 days. I don't want to wait anymore.
They rejected ours. They rejected our appeal, YouTube. And they wouldn't even tell me why.
I'm not surprised. They rejected my first one.
Ugh, that was
They rejected my first one. Yeah, and I had to resend it. Yeah, I'm tired of it, bro.
I'm tired of it too. It makes it so. Yeah, it makes it so we don't want to cover Warner Brothers stuff. We can't really give them hype like that. It's a bad look for all the people that work hard on DC stuff and The Matrix and other things like that. It's a bad look. The company should stop doing it. YouTube.
I can't stand these corporations, man. The people who work hard on these things I respect, but the corporations are just they gotta relax. We talked about this, bro. Just relax, man. Like if a spoiler gets out, it happens.
Yeah,
it happens all the time in the business, bro. I'm sure they were mad when the Spider-Man leak came out about multiple Spider-Man, the upcoming movie. They wanted to shock everybody in the trailer, but it happens. It's part of the game now. The internet.
You can't fight it. You can't fight the internet. The internet's going to win, and look at what's happening to Warner Brothers. Look what's happened to Lucasfilm. That's the bad way to do it. That's the wrong way to do it. Do better. Be more susceptible. Listen. Be humble. Like, there's a better way, and I think that Marvel's doing a much better job.
I just sent you something you should show people, bro. This popped me. I don't know if you see it in check your DMs on Discord.
On Discord? Somebody just I gotta pull up Discord step because if I pull it up on here, it'll ruin the way I have your camera set up. So let me pull it up.
I know.
All right, I'll pull it up over here.
I could always send it to you on Twitter, but I mean,
it's all good. It should be loading any second here. It should be loading any second. Being ridiculous, of course. All right, let me see.
That's awesome, bro.
Yo, that's pretty funny. All right, let me see. Let me show everybody. Let's see if we can get in here. And then we'll do this on...
That is awesome, bro. The internet moves quick.
The internet does move quick. Oh, wait, that's the wrong Brave. That's the wrong Discord.
That's me.
All right, here it is. Boom. Look at this. All the different Owen Wilsons from all of his movies. Wedding Crasher.
Big Owen Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hansel. So hot right now.
Where's Owen Wilson from The Cable Guy when Jim Carrey beat him up in the bathroom, bro? That's the one that I want, bro.
Yo, that would be sick. That's a deep cut, bro. Why not?
That was the first time I ever saw Owen Wilson. That was the first time I ever saw him. Was in that
I don't even remember him being
Guy.
In that, to be honest with you. That's wild. I'll have to go back and check that.
He was the douchebag that what's his name? Matthew Broderick's girlfriend was dating, and then Jim Carrey was in the bathroom and beat the shit out of him.
That was Owen Wilson?
Yeah, it's a good. That was Owen Wilson, yeah.
Dang, okay, wow. Well, thank you again for being here, man. He has not aged. His nose doesn't look any better either. But we love him. We love him. All right, well, everybody, we're going to get on out of here. Guys, thank you so much. Go check out World of Geekdom later tonight. Get that Matrix 4 leak. Check out our channel later today as well. We'll be dropping some Loki videos on the main channel. We'll be doing a stream at 7:30. As I always say, guys, hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.